Before we start this video, I'd like to make a special shout out to A-Boy who suggested this topic. So on to the video.
Subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos. In today's world, every Filipino knows about our dispute with China over a chain of islands in the South China Sea called the Spratly Islands, and the disputed small island named the Scarborough Shoal. This dispute has been going on for ages, with the Chinese not only taking oil in the area but also building artificial islands for their military and naval bases, leaving many Filipino fishermen being removed and even harassed from the area by the Chinese Coast Guard. Despite the area has been denounced by the UN's Conventional Law of the Sea and don't even know when this issue is going to end, but back in 1574, a major unknown event that predicted the strained relationship between China and the Philippines. This is Limahong'S failed invasion of the Philippines. 6 months ago, I briefly mentioned the event in the 1582 Cagayan Battles video, and like I said in the beginning of that video, the Philippines during the late 16th century was a new colony by the expanding Spanish Empire and was threatened by many tribal and foreign enemies. There are many Muslim kingdoms in the Mindanao Islands raiding Spanish settlements in the Visayas region, while tribal kingdoms in the Luzon and Bicol regions have been losing territories from negotiations or wars with the Spanish. They were also facing tons of attacks from Portuguese raiders and threats from the Dutch Navy since they were fighting for their country's independence from Spain in Europe in the so-called 80 Years' War. But Spain's reputation in the island had a huge blow when in 1572, Conquistador and Governor-General Miguel Lopez de Legazpi passed away at the age of 70, and Giordo de Lavisaris took his position as the new Governor-General, where he saw the threat of Chinese pirates disrupting and raiding trade ships in the South China Sea, and leading them is a man by the name of Limahong, who was born as Ling Feng in the Chinese port town of Chaozhong in the Guangdong province. His life of crime started at a young age, where he committed acts of robbery and joined Tai Laong's fleet who terrorized China's coastal ports. During his time with Ong, the young pirate became Ong's protege and even his heir to his leadership. But when Ong passed away, he became the official leader, and with 2,000 pirates in his disposal, he started harassing ships and ports in southern China. Through his coastal raids and attacks to fellow pirates, he managed to capture around 40 to 50 ships, numbering up to 90. Because of these numerous attacks, he became the most wanted man in China. The government issued a warning for his capture by sending the Chinese Navy to patrol the coastal areas. Due to this, Limahong and his fleet left southern China and turned his attention to the Philippines and planned to rule over its people and occupy the Spanish colony. It was when he stumbled upon trade ships returning from Manila and captured one of them, learning from the crew that the capital is rich in resources and not well guarded because Manila was a new settlement during that time, and the Spanish didn't see that foreign invasion of the capital is likely to happen. Learning all of these details, he set his sights to take the city from the colonists and turn it as the capital of his new kingdom. So when he and his squadron finally arrived in Luzon on the fall of 1573, they made a stop by in Ilocos Sur to stock up some supplies while also burning villages in the area, which caught the attention of Spanish General Juan Salcedo, who was in vegan at this point and having trouble maintaining peace in the province since July of 1572. He was furious when he heard about the news. Believing Limahong is heading towards the Cagayan River, Salcedo ordered Spanish troops who were stationed there to prepare a surprise attack against the Chinese bandits. However, the pirates never showed up because in reality, they only came to the province to remove clams that were collecting underneath their ships. And Salcedo soon realized that the pirates are heading to Manila. He called in the capital to gather troops and defend the city as much as possible, in which they only got around 600 men. While Limahong and his armada reached the village of Parañaque, he deployed 700 soldiers on the beach shores and marched towards the capital. On November 29, 1574, the Chinese arrived in Manila Bay, who was under the command of Lieutenant Sioko, and called the surrender of the Spanish army. Although the Spanish are outnumbered 2 to 1 against the Chinese, especially they got the armada to support them with artillery and 1,300 men in reserve, they somehow got lucky from out of the blue, when a strong wind was able to destroy a few of his fleets, resulting in the loss of 200 Chinese reserves. Despite the loss, Limahong pressed the offensive on the Malate district. The Spanish in Malate raised the alarm of the attack, but Governor-General Lavisaris didn't believe the report was genuine, and no garrisons were sent. As a result, the Chinese army lit the area with flames and smoke, killed several soldiers and civilians, including Field Master Military Governor Martin de Giotti. The governor, seeing the district go to smoke, realized his mistake and allowed all the survivors to seek refuge in Fort Santiago. Already there in the citadel, the Chinese surged the fort and are on the verge of taking it by force. But across the distance, a group of Spanish units coming to towards them, outnumbered, the colonialists attacked the Chinese in a gruesome charge, forcing Sioko and his men to retreat back to their ships, bringing with them their 100 dead pirates along the way, and reported to Limahong, who was stuck in Cavite, about their failure. Rather than being upset or accept defeat, the Chinese leader still had confidence and hopes to his lieutenant on taking the city through resting up his men for 2 days, in order to arrange another attack. After 404-kilometer journey by sea, Juan Salcedo arrived in Manila the next day, along with his units prepared to set defense in the city for an imminent second offensive attack. Salcedo was assigned as the new field master and vowed to protect the city. On the morning of December 3rd, Limahong's force of 1,300 men returned and landed on Manila shores. Soiko made a promise to his leader that he'll do everything to take the city and split up his soldiers into 3 divisions, setting flames into the city and marched straight to Santiago, while the Spanish looked upon the enemy and alerted the well-armed Spaniards to their defensive positions. Upon arriving the fort, Limahong and his ships started to bombard the fortress walls in support, while the pirates threw grenades to the defenders and managed to destroy one of the gates, charging the Spanish head-on through bloody hand-to-hand combat. Despite the danger, Laversares was there to boost the morale of the Spanish army. In the end, Salcedo's forces won and managed to kill Soiko, and the retreating pirates were chased down to the sea. Limahong tried to reinforce the panicked men with 500 more pirates. However, his best efforts wasn't able to lift his men's morale to fight back, leading to a full-scale retreat to their ships, and left Manila for good and sailed north, where they landed in the province of Pangasinan via Ango River. The natives there don't know what to react to these exhausted and badly beaten Chinese. So using this opportunity and a great idea to start a settlement for his new territory, Limahong pretended to the inhabitants that they defeated the Spanish invaders out of the island and honor him with respect. The locals greeted the bandits with a hero's welcome, wherein he constructed his own palace, which is being protected by a wooden fort. Not only that, he also built pagodas and wells for the natives as well. He managed to build this settlement in just 3 months without Spanish resistance. But that soon was changed when, after learning the pirates established a settlement in the province, on March 23, 1575, Juan Salcedo assembled a task force and set sail along with 300 men. 2,500 natives, which included Prince Lacandula of Tondo, arrived in the province on March 30th. The Chinese, who were leaving to get some supplies, spotted Salcedo and abandoned their ships, went back inside the fort to defend, while Salcedo sieged the settlement for 4 months. During this long-month bombardment, Limahong managed to build 30 ships and once again escaped from his enemies with a few of his men, while the rest were left behind enemy lines. Without their leader to support and give them instructions, some of the pirates deserted the settlement and fled to the mountains, and others were taken prisoners by the Spanish. Although this attack failed to capture Limahong, in China, however, they still haven't given up the mess he made, and hearing what he did in Manila and Pangasinan, convinced the governor of Fujian province to send Wang Yao to get Limahong. But once he came to Pangasinan and heard about his escape, he traveled to Manila alongside Salcedo to meet Governor General Laversares to transfer the imprisoned pirates back to China and offer him to visit the country, and the governor agreed and in return gave essential aid to the Chinese captain along with Spanish priests to spread Catholicism to the country. The governor was given presents by the Chinese people. Despite the generous acts by the Chinese, Laversares didn't like the attitude of the people there and left just a few months later, saying that they are impotent and deceitful. As for Limahong and his surviving crew, they joined with fellow pirate Limao and Shandeli to harass the coast of southern China in 1589, while Juan Salcedo died from a fever on March 11, 1576. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I like to thank to A-Boy for suggesting this topic, because I haven't run out of ideas to make. So thank you, A-Boy, for suggesting this. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so you could see my future videos, and be sure to check me on Facebook, Twitter. There'll be links in the description, and also check all of these videos that are popping right now on the screen. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys, see you next time, peace out.